Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be covering two main things. First, more about the problems Mickey Mouse has with definitions. After that, I'll cover his self-serving use of weird math. In my last release, I referred to some of the crazy things Mickey said in his January 28th video. There is much more. Words mean things. Sometimes they can mean more than one thing, but they still have to have some consistency of context in any discussion. At the very least, if there is confusion, a person should be able to provide an explanation that shows they are speaking rationally. So let's look at stuff Mickey talks about when it comes to debate.
I've debated you with a couple rebuttals. I debated this guy in the comment section, but that's not really debate. That's just commenting back on each other. That's not debate.
Okay, so he debated me, but it wasn't debate? I'll also point out that commenting to each other is what happens in a debate, discussion, conversation, argument, etc. My way may take more time, but it makes up for it by allowing for better analysis of what is being said. Speed is less important than accuracy. And my way doesn't stop Mickey from saying whatever he wants. I have no need to censor anyone. Mickey then quotes me saying, "Live debate is not always the best way." Yep, that's what I said. But listen to his response.
Fine, live debate is not always the best way, but it's actually the best way to be able to have a conversation put in place.
What the heck did he just say? What is meant by putting a conversation in place? Regardless, it sure sounds like he is admitting live debate is not always the best way, while also saying it is the best way. This next one is even stranger.
You don't have to do a debate live. We can have it pre-recorded.
This is apparently an attempt to get around some of my reasons for not doing a live debate. Unfortunately for Mickey, it ignores common sense. You see, the debate itself would still be live, wouldn't it? It just wouldn't be broadcast live. Thus, all my reasons for not doing a live debate still apply. Watch my third video for details. But in case you think I'm being picky, listen to what Mickey also says in the same video in response to my point that it can be done individually in comments or in each of our own videos going back and forth. In other words, in ways that allow for a more careful analysis of each person's arguments. Here's Mickey's reaction.
Debate has to be live.
Wait a minute. Just a few minutes earlier, he said it didn't have to be live. This is an example of what I mean when I say Mickey says things for their effect at the moment, not realizing how he contradicts his own at the moment statements made previously. That statement was followed by,
It has to be a conversation, or else you're just commenting back and forth.
like I said before, these different terms of debate, conversation, commenting, etc. are treated as similar things by both of us. Remember, in a debate, you are commenting back and forth, just as can be done doing things my way. Now, let's move on and look at Mickey's self-serving weird math. In a prior video, I documented Mickey manipulating the votes on his own poll just to make it look like his low rating of a woman's attractiveness was not way off the vast majority. He literally eliminated or greatly lowered the top 66 to 75% of all votes. Truly amazing, yet I bet most of his supporters didn't even realize what he did. Well, he essentially rigs the numbers when it comes to his own rating score. Also, while he claims he doesn't care if he gets criticism for his looks, he actually may care if the scores are as low as he gives some Filipinas. Watch how Mr. I don't care how I'm rated limits any negativity about his own appearance.
I see myself as a 4, fixable 5.
It's an old ploy to rate yourself not very high, but just as an excuse to supposedly make it okay to totally trash the appearance of others. But note that Mickey only goes so far, saying he is a 4 or fixable 5. So he's not putting himself in the very negative area he puts others. He limits it again with this.
I just know I'm not a brown bagger, right?
Note that he made sure that brown bagger, which is a 2 on his scale, isn't acceptable. Just as he artificially ruled out any poll results above 5 when rating the Filipina P, In this case, he is ruling out anything below a 3 if people rate him. But see how he changes his standard even after giving his self-serving score.
I could be a 3 for some people, cause +2 -2, right? I think I'm a 4, which is an okay, and then an average at best, okay? I sure know that I'm not a double bagger or a single brown bagger, just saying, okay?
Did you see it? Mykkie didn't apply the -2 rule. He said he was a 4 or fixable 5. I'm pretty sure 4 -2 is only 2, thus a brown bagger after all. Of course, the excuse will be that he said he was a fixable 5, but he doesn't get to ignore the 4 he gave himself. Therefore, at best, even accepting his biased score, his rules would mean that he can be considered a 2. Besides, who says Mykkie's rating of 4 is the middle point of the +2 -2 rule? Perhaps his self-applied rating is towards the high end, which means Mykkie can be considered a 1. So maybe Mykkie does care if someone rates him low, so he just declares it is off limits. Perhaps Mykkie can best show he doesn't mind negative things by releasing the 3 videos showing himself crying and begging his girlfriend to protect him. After all, he said it only showed he was vulnerable and was thus a positive thing. If he really believes that, he shouldn't mind letting everyone see for themselves. And they may like to hear how he talks about telling his audience what they want to hear. Now, let's look at yet another example of how Mykkie lacks logic as he reacts to my statement relating to the golden ratio, which includes the importance of symmetry. First, what I said. I remember a very pretty girl whose eyes were definitely not symmetrical. It could well be considered a flaw that. That's where Mykkie cut off my statement. And then he said this.
And you said pretty. So you just rated the girl. She's pretty. She's not gorgeous.
Sure, I said pretty, which fits my point that rating someone publicly is only an issue when it is negative. And of course, even if I said the girl was ugly, no one would know who I was talking about, would they? Thus, no one was being ridiculed publicly. So I'm following my context. Mykkie should try it when reacting to my videos. He does, after all, claim to care about context. Mykkie makes another illogical assumption.
So because it's not symmetrical, you could not say she's the prettiest girl you've seen in the world. You can never say that she's the most gorgeous, good-looking, beautiful woman in the world. Because of the asymmetry, you had to bring her down a few.
But listen to what else I said about her. But she was still pretty anyway, and I would have rated her higher than the actress that the golden ratio people said was the most beautiful. Mykkie just doesn't listen. Since I found her to be prettier than the actress who scored highest on the golden ratio, then it would be possible for me to say the girl I knew is the most beautiful. Sure, if her eyes were symmetrical, she'd be even prettier. But symmetry is not the only factor. Now, it's true, I've seen prettier girls, but symmetry is only one of many characteristics. Mykkie quotes me again saying, men in general prefer tan skin. Why? After all, in the past, it was the pale skin that was preferred. The fact that it changed should tell you that some other factors are involved in how your mind decides what is attractive. Well, today men view the tanned woman as healthier, and a woman who has the time to spend at the beach or fake it with tanning salons is viewed as likely being better off, all things that raise her status. Now let's have fun with Mykkie's reaction.
See, now, here's the thing. That's not true either, okay? It's preferences. Its skin is a preference. You know, if you get 2 twins, right? And the one girl, okay, one girl has tan more and stuff like that. Darker tone and stuff like that. They're still going to have the same beauty standards in regards by looking, they're both beautiful, which is that one went out to get tanning. So what?
Sounds like word games to me. Preferences? What isn't a preference? Some people like small noses. Some like more pointy noses. Some like high cheekbones. Some don't. Lip shape, eye shape, whatever. Sounds like it's all preferences to me. Based on surveys of Western men's preferences, if one twin was tanned and the other wasn't, more men would prefer the tan sister. Mykkie tends to make lame excuses to declare some characteristics don't count. even when most men do count them. Remember, Mykkie makes an issue of Filipinas with Morena skin tone not being popular with Filipinos. Strange how he counts skin tone then. Thanks for watching, and don't let the trolls stop you from speaking out.